Hello. Changes in technology. There have been many changes in technology. Our technological lives can be split roughly into the early, middle, and current stages. In 1984, only about 8% of families had a personal computer. The World Wide Web arrived in 1989. Cell phones were enormous at the beginning of the 1990s. How people watched videos. First, there were VHS tapes. First released in 1977 by the Victor Company in Japan. In 1990, most people watched films on tapes, which are called videocassettes or VHS tapes. These tapes had to be rewound when the film finished. The VHS tapes were inserted into video recorders. Oops. Oh, sorry. Then there were DVDs, then digital. Now we have streaming and video services. Netflix, Amazon, YouTube, and soon Apple enable you to watch movies on your television. There are a number of streaming sites where you can watch films for free. One such site is Il Genio dello Streaming. Another program you must download is Popcorn Time. Televisions. High definition televisions came on the market for the wealthy. HD stands for high definition. They were first manufactured by Sony, Japan. Now there are smart TVs. In the 1960s, there was only one channel, Rai. This is a state TV in Italy. The Internet. In 1990, there was no internet for the majority of people. In 2004, there was slow internet. Internet was dial-up. The maximum speed was 56 kilobytes per second, and internet could be interrupted by an incoming telephone call. The top website was Yahoo. Broadband, ADSL, has a maximum speed of 25 megabytes per second. Now we have optical fiber. This is a flexible, transparent fiber made of silica or plastic. It has a diameter slightly thicker than a human hair. ADSL, asymmetric digital subscriber line. The bandwidth of optical fiber is much higher than broadband. 4 gigabytes optical fiber covers 98% of Italy. 4 gigas offers up to 700 megabyte downloads and 130 megabytes in upload. How people listen to music. Vinyl records and played on a record player. Music tapes, audio tapes played on a cassette player were widely used in the 1970s up to the beginning of the century. CDs, compact discs, were first produced by Sony in the 1980s. You could buy pre-recorded CDs or blank CDs which can be burnt with music or files from a PC. CD-ROM stands for Ready Only Memory. CD-WR are CDs which can be reburnt multiple times. Floppy disks. IBM introduced the first floppy disks in the early 1970s. It is a magnetic storage medium which was used to store files for the computer. With the use of emails, the floppy disks became obsolete because files could be sent by email. Digital. Digital started with file formats. In the late 1980s, the MP3 format and then the MP4 format were used before the invention of the iPod. The MP3 and MP4 formats were a way of compressing sound sequences into a very small file which enabled digital storage and transmission. People started listening to music on the Sony Walkman. In the 1980s, it cost $200. Then the Sony Discman came out in the 1980s, but became popular in the 1990s. The first Sony Discman cost $300. Mobile phones. Technology for mobile or cell phones was available in the 1940s. In 1990, most people had no cell phones. Motorola was the first company to produce a handheld cellular phone in 1973. Martin Cooper was a researcher and executive, and he made the first mobile telephone call from a phone shown in the photo to his rival. The phone weighed 1.1 kilos and measured 23 by 13 by 4.5 centimeters. The phone offered 30 minutes of talk time and took 10 hours to recharge. Cell phones were widely used in the 1990s in Italy and in the late 1980s in the USA. In 2002, 62% of Americans had dumb cell phones, some of the first cell phones. The smartphone was produced in 1992. It was called the Simon Personal Communicator and was created by IBM. This was more than 15 years before Apple released the iPhone 2008. The Internet of Things, or IoT. This is when we blend the physical and virtual worlds together. We have smart speakers, smart homes, and smart cars. The Internet of Things is like a network of physical devices, handheld gadgets, vehicles, home appliances, and any type of electronic item with software or technology which is connected together and has the ability to exchange data. The definition of smart means the continued evolution of smart devices and the rise of AI, artificial technology. Bye-bye.